These are the fucking bomb, by the way.
I think so too.
Thank you. It's like you're drinking a beer, but it's not at all. You got that like crispy, like bubbly thing going on. It's not kombucha.
You just get the fixation that you need.
Exactly. That's what it is. You like grape? Is that your favorite?
It was on accident.
It was?
Yeah.
Happy accidents, right?
Happy accidents. I was thinking that it was like raspberry or something. Definitely. I don't know how to read either, I guess.
It's tough reading.
we just paint instead.
Yeah. When you're like, all I want is a seltzer, and now I've got to read. So, welcome to another Artsy AF podcast. Thanks for being here. Today, we're in the studio home of Jack Shure and Krystalyn Jade, right? Yeah, awesome. So, Krystalyn, it's my first time kind of really hanging out with you.
Yes, it is.
How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you so much for showing up.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This place is awesome. I really like it here.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. How did you guys meet?
I was looking for a photographer that could take pictures for like my Instagram and just random things.
Mm-hmm.
And her buddy shared it to her, like put it in my story. And she was the first person that hit me up.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. I had no idea about Jack's art, so I was pretty excited to just come over and check it out. And we ended up chatting for like 3 or 4 hours afterwards, and I guess
sparks were flying.
History started there. Yeah.
Nice. So did you paint before you met Jack?
No, I did not paint before I met Jack. I had been a photographer for about 12 years. And I mean, I painted for fun, but never anything really serious whatsoever.
Yeah. But you had a pretty good understanding of like lighting and balancing.
I'd say so, yeah. Mm-hmm. But when applied to painting, I feel like it's so different.
Sure.
But Jack's been here to teach me along the whole way.
Nice. So you're using oils then?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. How is that going for you? I mean, it seems like it's going really well.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah, it's going great. I mean, we wake up every day and just make breakfast and then paint all day long, and we've been doing that for like a year now, a little over a year now, and so I think you can get good fast if you are doing it every day too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So what's that been like? So you're teaching her how to paint.
Yeah.
As you're like forming a relationship. Yeah. And
as he's juggling his career too.
Right. So how do you find the balance between those things?
It like all becomes one.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this really trippy way. Because like all we talk about is art, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I feel like we're talking about each other's work so much too that like it's just, I don't know. It's really crazy. But I mean, it's everything that you think it would be. It's hard. And it's also like the most amazing thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never thought I could like share that with someone, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's like weird, like, you know, when you're intimate with someone and then also sharing like this workspace that's not just a workspace. It's like the space where you like get everything off your chest and like, dig deep per se.
Totally. Yeah. I know for me, like, even when I have like friends over in the studio, sometimes it's like I can't just like spaz out like I normally do.
Yeah.
You know, there's that like kind of social contract there.
Yeah, where you can't get as weird as you may.
Yeah.
You.
I can't like strip down to my underwear and start playing the melodica.
Yeah.
Without warning. I mean, I'm sure most of my friends would be down, but like, but you guys are like on the same page with that. It seems like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's times when it's like super intense. Like, don't get me wrong, where the both of us are like really like those in between stages where you're like, either having a struggle with like something in your painting or in your life, and then there's two people that are feeling that way. It's like
Right,
super
yeah.
intense, but it's awesome because like there's this barrier of understanding that's immediately broken through, where it's not like, oh fuck, I gotta explain to this person like why I'm a fucking freak today and can't like talk to people or whatever it is,
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's the way I see it.
Yeah. Well, communication must be pretty strong between you two.
Yeah, for sure. It has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of things are you painting? You told me you were painting like a skeleton geisha.
Mm-hmm.
What's that all about?
Well, I'm just really kind of leaning into what I want to paint. I've only been at it for like 6 paintings now.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of a combination of what I think I can do and what Jack says, like he's like, yes, you can do that. I create this image that I want to paint, and I kind of lean more towards like, oh, this is not exactly what I want to paint, but I'm learning, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm still there, by the way.
yeah, maybe it's a lifetime thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you just like move, like I think you like your comprehension like levels up, and then you're there for a while, and then you like see this glimpse of another like crystal of
what it could be.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh fuck, and then you start moving towards that again, and yeah,
it's like, I think as an artist, your embodiment of your skill is always one step maybe behind like your ideas or like what you can envision.
Yeah, I also feel like I spent a lot of time like painting below what I was actually capable of. Yeah, like I don't know why, but maybe it's just some self-doubt or something, but like
you've gone through a serious download this year. I think anybody that's watched Jack's art over the last year, it's like, wow, he really unlocked something.
It looks like you're having a lot more fun.
Yeah.
It does, man. Like you're putting in like cartoon characters and like your titles are hilarious. The thou shalt summon him with the loudest of weed or something. That's I love that title. Oh, it's so good.
Thanks, man.
And we all know like the kind of person you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's just fun. So what happened to kind of make you have a little bit more fun?
Well, I think first of all, it was her coming into my studio and me like being in this point where I wasn't really feeling like inspired or something. Yeah. And she came in and she's like, "You're amazing. You're so good at this." And I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. It didn't even make sense. And then like after so long of her telling me that, she's like, no, like, and she really does like push me. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. She's like, she might like not be like able to do it completely yet, but she can see what is like lacking, and because she's seen me do it so much now that she's like, yeah, that's not gonna fly, dude. And I'm like, damn, like, okay, like it's crazy to I don't know.
Well, I think we met each other at times in our lives where we could either like sink into, the sad artist, lonely artist, whatever, or like really be great.
Or just own that shit.
Yeah.
Because great is just what is great. I don't
feel great, like not wake up and feel shitty every day.
Right. Yeah, it's nice. I think that you, like, if you're living alone, for instance, like even on days where you wake up and you feel great, it's kind of like you have to share that with someone, or you don't get like a feedback kind of thing. Like your feeling just kind of like evaporates into the air or something.
The
It's
first
true.
time I walked into the studio, I was so impressed. I had just never seen anybody do what Jack does. And it just like wowed me. And I thought, oh my God, how is this guy not like so confident? Like,
Right?
what's going on? And like it took it still takes time to like unlock that.
Hey, dogs.
That's Chico
Yeah.
and Sage. Welcoming committee.
Shouts to Chico and Sage. So you were saying that it takes time to unlock something.
Yeah, I can't remember because dogs. Well,
Oh yeah, just the tangent of how I feel I came to painting stuff that I'm really happy about
yeah.
Yeah.
was just like her coming into my life, really helping me. Like
Every day I tell him like, oh my God, you're amazing, you're the best. Because like in our lives, like
I hate hearing that.
in our lives,
It's weird to hear, right?
I hate
if
it.
we want what the goals that we have in our mind, like that's what it has to be.
You need to have encouragement. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, no, but that was like so huge. And then like once I just like quit being such a dick to myself and like giving myself some time, like I was starting to feel happy about what I was painting.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that like people that I look up to were looking at my art and being like, that's good.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, whoa. Okay. I just like, if there's anything that I really like taken away from it is like, you have to fucking believe in yourself.
yeah.
And if you don't,
definitely.
it just all falls away. And especially in this like lifestyle and career, like so much of it is just like having confidence that you are worthy of fucking having some piece of it.
Yeah.
Straight up, dude.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just like, you get lost in the soup of comparing yourself
Yeah.
to other things and like other people and it just all this bullshit that doesn't really matter. And if you're just like confident in what you do and you really believe in it, then it doesn't fucking matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like clout chasing on Instagram
Or just any of it, just all the bullshit that comes along with like trying to keep up or whatever the fuck it is, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you said on the last podcast, you said like protect your vision or something like that. And that really resonates with what you just said. And I think if you're just happy with the work that you're making, nothing else really matters all that much. If you're able to support yourself and you're making work that you like, it's so huge, man. Like
it's huge. It's the greatest gift to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And your mood, or my mood at least, and I'm sure you're all similar, like is largely dictated by how I'm feeling about the current thing that I'm working on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's just this like, whatever 24 by 30 inch piece of canvas.
But it's the whole world at the same time.
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah.
It's like 4:00 in the afternoon and I already had 2 meltdowns about a stick that I'm painting. It's been a rough one.
Stick? Were you using a
stick
reference?
that belongs on a leaf, and I had a morning about it.
Yeah, sometimes you got to have those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of no, it's no pain, no gain is like a very cliche thing to say, but like,
but it's in this thing, it's like this weird. The pain is weird because it's just like frustration and angst and like this like all these bullshit emotions that really you should get over to be a human anyway. So it like really helps for me at least.
It's
like
a clear representation of how you're feeling.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I can see that like in your work, like when you paint like little cartoon dudes like driving a little clown car and like flipping somebody off. I mean, is that what that is, or?
I guess for me, like part of that is just like, I want people to look at my art and be like, this guy is serious as fuck.
Yeah.
But then at the same time be like, but he's also a fucking goofball and just wants to like play a game with you and not like to like play with your head, but just to like, I don't know. Get you to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The level that you are doing that at is just so amazing to like watch a piece come together. Like sometimes it takes 5 minutes of pulling ideas, or sometimes it takes, it takes a long time, but most of the time he has an idea, sits down, gets it out, and there it is. And then the meaning kind of comes afterwards or like during. And one of the greatest things that I know about Jack's work is the first time I got to sit down and be like, why are you even painting this? Like, what does this mean? And like, because there's so many repetitive images.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm going to tear up. Well, there's so many repetitive images. And I was like, just tell me a little bit about it. Dude, this guy told me, like, I thought I was on, like, I don't know. It was like, am I floating in space? Like, what is happening right now? It opened some sort of, like, creative thing in me where I was able to, like, say, oh, that's another way to be creative. But it was, like, so huge that, like, sorry, I don't know.
It's okay.
It's like,
Keep going.
the things are silly sometimes, but they're so meaningful. And the way that he has, like,
yeah, like sometimes it'll appear silly and that will be like the deepest part. Like that guy flipping the dude off or whatever he's fucking doing, like with his middle finger up. I like got in this crazy like road rage scenario that week.
Yeah. And
it just like, it was so weird. Like, and I just felt like a fucking clown because this guy like really got me worked up.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's like me like acting like an idiot.
And his idea of archetypes and like just the knowledge of symbols is so rich in his work that it made me want to like speak that language.
Yeah, the visual language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like thank you for that.
Oh. Well,
Thank you.
Yeah. You guys seem to be like really connected right now. And that's pretty special.
Yeah.
So obviously he's kind of taught you how to paint. And you sort of kind of touched on like maybe other things you've learned from him. Like, do you feel like you found like kind of a new purpose? Maybe not just in life, but maybe in art. Like,
oh, absolutely.
I think it fucking saved
Absolutely.
your life in a way, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When Jack and I met, I was drinking really heavily, and he's like, if you want to hang out with me, you can't be a drinker.
Yeah.
And so he didn't know how hard it was for me to say okay to that. But like, as we started to hang out, he realized like there was a huge issue. And so he's helping me stop drinking. He's helping me learn how to paint. He's giving me like a new, like turning over a leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still magical, but it's so intense because like learning to paint is intense. Learning to do anything is intense, but waking up every day and like that's in your face every day.
Yeah.
And then like, so for 3 months, I wasn't painting. I was just like laying in bed sulking, and I was like, I can't. I'm like I said, I'm a photographer as well, and I was like, I just can't think of any photo shoots. Like nothing feels good. After he told me like the depth of the paintings, and he's like, just try to paint, just try. And for 3 months I sat there crying, sulking, and he was really helping me through the alcohol abuse. And finally I decided that, okay, today was the day I was going to paint. And it opened up some really beautiful like work for us to do together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very special. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, for being so vulnerable.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the only artist who suffers from something like that. So
no, definitely not. Definitely not. And alcohol is one of those drugs that it's physically dependent too. So, I mean, I don't know how bad it was, but like
it's more emotionally dependent, really.
Yeah.
And for me
cheers you up a little bit, or it used to.
I think it was just a way for her to like step out of
Yeah,
some.
to cover everything up,
Yeah.
really. My
Mhm.
dad committed suicide a couple of years ago, and that, me not dealing with that, and then having a job that I just wasn't, I wanted to be an artist, and I was not doing that. And so when you're not
Mhm.
doing that, it really digs at you
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Yeah, we've done a lot of healing together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge step to kick alcohol.
It is.
Like, hats off.
Thank
for
you.
real.
Thank you.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. It's huge.
I ate mushrooms for a couple months, for 3 months straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like every day?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Micros or macros?
Sometimes just
Sometimes
whatever
big
it called
My
for.
micro dose was probably something that would get someone pretty high.
Like a gram or two.
Way more.
Yeah. And I
At
was
first,
it
yeah.
was really just taking the edge off so I could
Yeah, yeah.
like have like a smile that day or something.
Mhm.
But Jack was like so generous. He's like, this is what we're going to do. Eat all of it. Just like, we're going to fix this shit. And like, we reworked my brain. And
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
I'm on another microdose regimen. I hadn't done it for like 7 months, and I just started to feel like I should do it again.
Mhm.
But mushrooms, absolutely saved my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of a running theme through the show. Is like helpful use of psychedelics and entheogens or whatever. So I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you you taking like all this stuff interests me. I don't know like where to begin, but like with the mushrooms, were you like seeing things? I mean, obviously we all hallucinate when
No, she was like, it was
I
like
could
baseline.
I could feel it, like rewiring my brain. And when I started to feel, I can't even describe it. When I started to feel the need for more mushrooms, I would take it and that feeling would go away, or that pattern would go away.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it was more like a sort of like psychological restructuring of
Absolutely.
your personality. And
yeah,
that's weird because I know that like when we get addicted to things, like there's literally, especially when it's physically dependent, there's literally your brain wires itself so that you have this little sub personality in your head whose only job it is to get the thing that you're addicted to.
Yeah.
And so congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to talk about like the process of making a painting for both of you guys.
Okay.
You're talking about how that you got into like a little road rage there. And then you like kind of put it in a painting.
Yeah.
Are you taking from life right now? And
I think like there's this weird, I don't know, I hate to call it cosmic, but this thing that happens where like a lot of the time it'll just align. Yeah. And then other times I'm like deliberately picking it. And then other times I feel like it's my subconscious picking it. And it's like, then it either like shows itself or I randomly stumble upon it. Is kind of what it seems like.
So it's kind of like this interplay between conscious and unconscious.
Yeah. And then a lot of the time I'm like, just like, I feel like I like a lot of the time when I'm like half in between sleep and awake, like I'll tell her like, oh, I have this idea. And then I'll like think about it for like 3 days, and I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What about you, Krystalyn? Your process, like
right now, that's difficult. I try to think of something that I think I can paint, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess the painting I'm working on right now is inspired from I went to the Monroe Institute, which kind of teaches out-of-body experiences and stuff of that nature.
Mhm.
And I learned about telekinesis and psychokinesis. So I was feeling super frustrated not knowing what to paint.
Mhm.
And so I was like, God, I wish I just had that power to like figure it out, like how I can bend a fork. And so I just decided to do a geisha bending a fork.
Nice.
So that's how that happened.
Yeah. You said it's a skeleton, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like thing that I've been thinking about recently is like it's not a news flash, but like we're all gonna die one day. And so I've really been trying to just like do everything that I want and like accomplish things for me and try and like leave my mark on the world. I don't know if that's what the skeletons are all about, but like I paint skulls quite a bit in my paintings, and my mom's not a big fan of the skulls.
My mom either.
Yeah. I'm like, I think it's just like a fear of death maybe, but to me it's more like a reminder to not like get distracted.
I think people just see like if they have this like adverse feeling towards it, it's usually because they just see it as like something morbid.
Yeah.
But I see it as like paying respect or something.
Yeah, definitely. And like respect to your own self, because it's like a reminder that one day you won't be
Our
around
impermanence,
to do all these things that you love, you know?
Yeah. It's scary as shit.
Yeah. It's wild, right?
I don't know. Like part of me feels like, I go in and out, honestly. Some days I'm like, you know what? I'd be totally okay if I needed to.
Yeah.
I think I could be at peace. And then other days I'm like, where will I go?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's both for me.
Yeah, I think I have days like that too. Yeah, I think in my like conscious mind, I'm like, I'm not afraid. But like just below the surface, it's like completely like freaking out.
The ego's like, where will you go?
Yeah.
Where will you be, Andrew?
Just like berating me with all these thoughts. You know? Like, what about me?
What about your meat suit, Andrew?
I'd like to trade it in, honestly.
Yeah. What would you be?
Just someone with better knees. Maybe a little shorter.
A little shorter.
A little stockier. The knees act up on me. Let's see. I wrote some things down. Look at me, Mr. Interviewer.
Cool.
Oh yeah. So I wanted to ask you, Krystalyn, were you like intimidated at all at first? When you were learning from Jack?
Not so much from him, but say we get invited to go paint at a friend's house, then then that shows up a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much now that I have a little more confidence in what I'm doing, but no, Jack doesn't intimidate me. You uplift me. He uplifts me in like just exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm having.
I push you some days. Though.
Oh, he pushes me so hard. I have these. So I have like these.
Put on your drill sergeant cap.
I'm just like, dude, that's not gonna fly.
So I told you guys I had the stick meltdown today, and meanwhile Jack is painting like a jewel encrusted a suit of armor kind of thing, and I just looked over and I was like, holy shit! Like, I'm taking up all of your mental energy, and you're also doing that right now. Like, sometimes I have to check myself and be like, shh, quiet, let him have his time.
Yeah. But it seems like he's totally willing. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, you got to give me like 30 minutes because right now this is like coming through and I've been thinking about it and it's got to happen right now.
Yeah. It's so good to be like on that level of communication with your partner, to be like, for me, it's like, I got to stay on the garage for like as long as this takes.
Yeah.
And, we'll have dinner later.
Bring me some water if I don't come in for it.
If I'm not back in 3 days, call my mom.
Yeah.
She'll know what to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really special so you can be honest without hurting each other's feelings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, dude, sometimes it gets brutal though. You're like
Yeah.
worked on something for a really long time. And like I said, either one of us will be pretty honest with each other. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Like, yeah, that's okay. Kind
Yeah,
of
no,
a thing.
you good job.
Yeah.
You're almost there. Well, but that I think like really like contributes to the fruits of our labor in the end.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, do you guys face any challenges when it comes to like living together and learning from each other, painting together?
I face many challenges. every day that I'm painting, I face challenges.
Yeah.
How much I bring him into my situation is another thing. I try to give him as much of his time in there and not try to take away so much. So I think that's that's like my biggest thing is balancing that and not giving myself enough time to try to work out the problem before I just cry about it.
Yeah. What do you find is like the most difficult in terms of like actual painting for you?
Color. Mm-hmm.
Color's tough.
Color's really tough. And
I think the way we do color makes it even more tough too.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? So are you doing like kind of like grayscale background and hitting it with glazes?
The way that Jack paints and how he's teaching me is grisaille.
Yeah.
Brown underpainting and then black and white to build volume,
mm-hmm.
and then colored glazes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm understanding the brown underpainting and how to build volume. Whether I'm doing it exactly right is another thing. But the color it's like a whole another world. There's just so much going on.
Also, we're painting, like we glaze it and then we paint
on top
color into the glaze while it's wet.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
So
everything's changing while it's on there as well.
He's telling me to use like 7 different colors in this, and I'm like, what does crimson look like? I'm like struggling through the paint. So I'm just trying to get my basic knowledge of color down.
Yeah.
But Jack's been teaching me, and it's time.
Color's hard, like matching value and color and what kind of like light source you have, whether it's like a warm light source or a cool one, and finding like say you have a cool light source and so you want a warm shadow, finding like the perfect match of colors to kind of like blend it there in the middle. That's really hard.
I feel like
I'm still not good at that at all.
I feel like it just like started to make sense to me.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's things that I would like stick to that I knew that worked, but I feel like now I can feel a little more confident.
It's a little more intuitive.
I can just like make the color that I see, and I'm able to make it as deep or shallow as I want, or closer to what I want. I mean, there's no like, but it's I don't know. I feel like that took a long time. Also, like, I don't think a lot of people like consider how much like tinting happens. Like, yeah, like sometimes you have to like a lot of time, like, use one bit of color in every color on the painting.
Yeah.
You know, or something like that.
Yeah, so to bring some like harmony into it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's cool. And so it's really hard to like we were saying earlier, like paint what you're seeing in your head versus like what you're able to do right now. Do you ever get we all get frustrated like that, right? But are you using things to help you, like photography? Are you bringing that back in to painting at all?
I guess a little bit in composition.
Mm-hmm.
And like
And I think you pick similar colors than that you do when you're taking photos, sort of.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of put photography like on the in the back seat,
Yeah.
and it hasn't really like come up a lot because we're so submerged in painting. I still love it, but it's just not something
It's not the same, right?
Yeah, and I think that also like with painting, she like really received a lot of support right from the beginning because everyone that I'm around is fucking doing that as well.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And then so she's like stepping into it and like shows that she's like determined and, you know, then she had this like constant like reassurance from our friends like that this is good, like
Yeah.
good job, like
Yeah.
I don't know, you know.
Yeah, you can't really underestimate like the power of like having a bunch of like-minded people around, like supporting what you do by just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like I think that's why I moved to Colorado,
Yeah.
and
That's where Colorado, its art scene is really cool. But then it's like it lacks in so many other places too.
like what?
Like there's no like there's no like I don't know, I just feel like the artists and the scenes that are a part of the galleries are so separate that there's like I don't know, like there's just never like I don't know, there's no like established galleries that show art that's like ours kind of in a way, you know. I don't know, it just feels like there's a lot of artists here, but there's like a lack of people selling art for artists or something. Yeah, like it's just
I think maybe that
There's a huge disconnect.
Yeah.
Other than the Mirrors Gallery, which just showed up 2 years ago.
Yeah, there's not much.
Still a very small niche.
Yeah, and I think like maybe in general too, like
I'll just put it this way: none of my art stays here.
Yeah,
none of it.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, hardly any of mine either.
All goes to Los Angeles, pretty much. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, I feel like that galleries are like some smaller ones maybe are failing now because it's so easy to just sell your art to whoever on the internet.
Right, but I feel like that only takes you so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once you get that representation, like
you need validation from the people that have like influence.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. And then if you have that, then other people look at it and they're like, oh, this guy,
I'll buy it
straight up.
$10,000, $20,000.
They just know that like, hey, this guy is
doing things.
Yeah, and he's look who is it, who likes him.
Yeah, look who owns his pieces.
Yeah,
it becomes kind of like, or it can become kind of like a collector's like. Well, I've got 3 Jack Shures. So like,
I mean, hopefully that's the goal, right?
Yeah, totally. So did you grow up here? You didn't grow up here, did you?
I grew up in Arizona.
In Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What part?
Scottsdale.
Okay. I know shit about Scottsdale.
There's not much to know. There's not much. It's really lacking in any sort of subculture, really, for any kids to get into.
Yeah.
I feel like growing up, I so badly wanted to be a part of like some sort of artsy group, and I just never found it in Arizona.
Sure.
I was doing things on my own. Yeah. I was doing photo shoots with people that I like. You know, it was a long time ago, so I was using like Model Mayhem. Like I was finding people off of like strange websites to like do photo shoots with because none of the people that were around me like were interested in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I come from kind of a similar place, like I'm from Kentucky, so
yeah,
kind of get it. I mean, I found a little something there, but like I moved out here.
Yeah.
You know? So when you moved out here, was it just straight from Scottsdale to here?
Nope. I lived in Denver before. I lived in San Francisco.
Okay.
I lived in Colorado a couple different times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think life kind of started when I met Jack. So
Did it?
yes. Like the goal of being
That's ridiculous.
not like that, but like, excuse me,
Your artist life,
my
maybe.
artist life.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you, because
Okay.
it's so intertwined. I have to my artist life. So I don't know. Like everything up until there was kind of like a big struggle. I was trying to find out where I could fit in, and I just never
Mhm.
found it
Yeah.
until I met Jack.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's interesting, like moving out here from a place that didn't value creativity like it does here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just so grateful, honestly. I'm
Oh, me
still like
too.
very
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I mean, if you're selling things in LA, maybe are you thinking about moving out there or?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It comes up sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense sometimes too. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of like on fire and stuff right now, right? But so is out here,
Yeah, so it's everywhere. Yes.
So how have you guys been since like COVID happened? This is a pretty common question I ask people.
I hate to like say this because I know that people are struggling and like, I don't know, my heart goes out to them, but it's been like pretty amazing for us.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I kind of felt the same way, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to feel like guilty is the wrong word, but it's just, I don't know. Things have been going really well.
As far
Yeah.
as career wise, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And we don't know, like personally, we haven't been affected, like a family member or anybody hasn't been affected.
Right.
So we're lucky
Exactly.
in that sense too.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. I think that like people have a little bit more money now that like, or at least for a while there where everything was closed
Mhm.
and like you couldn't go spend money on restaurants
Right.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, people
else
were just
people
buying
do.
shit on the internet.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
And like, I think art definitely fills like a big void in people's lives,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Doesn't mind. Fuck.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what my life revolves around
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let me think.
Still working?
Oh yeah, it's still working. No more technical difficulties. No more strange voices in the headphones. Little side note: I heard some radio signal while we were mic checking earlier, and no one else did, and that concerns me. You were talking about like paranormal shit earlier a little bit. What do you think that is?
I really don't know.
It's probably just the radio, right? I mean, like
We're up in the mountains. Who knows?
could be some like some secret broadcast or something.
Yeah,
you know?
it could be.
Secret
Maybe our
podcast?
neighbors are
Secret
doing something
podcast.
strange.
Like they're in the mountain. It's
Yeah.
like NORAD.
It's like
NORAD podcast.
It could be a podcast from the future.
Oh, it's you
Oh, yeah.
recording someone else, and you're hearing it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It sounded really fuzzy though. I don't know
It
what we're
sounded
gonna
like
have to
your
do
voice,
about
man.
that. Yeah?
No, I didn't hear it.
Is that me? So have you guys thought about collaborating?
Yeah,
Together?
we're going to for sure.
You're going to?
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll happen in due time.
Yeah.
I think that's also part of the goal. Like, I'm learning and he's learning, and we're doing our separate thing.
Mhm.
But also, like, we have a goal of just like bringing it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be painting together, or also like bringing, I don't know.
Like your ideas together. Or...
Yeah, I mean, one idea that we've had that we've kicked around a little bit is to eventually buy like a piece of property, like a ranch, where you could like, I don't really know how it would work, but have kids come make art. And
yeah.
like,
We talked about that last time
Yeah.
about how you worked with some like kids, some juvenile delinquent kids.
yeah.
I didn't know what else to call them. Those juvenile delinquents.
So like a 70-year-old.
Yeah. It's a real stodgy way to say it. But like kids who got in trouble before they were 18. And like, so you have plans to like kind of.
It's not a plan. It's just like an idea that we have, like
Yeah.
how cool it would be to have like this spot where it's kind of like a ranch where the kids would come and like paint and like take care of animals and like not do the bad shit that they're doing wherever they are.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what art in general, like whether it's music or whatever, has done for me. It's like,
Yeah.
when
No,
I'm doing
that's all
that,
I want to share. And
Yeah,
even if I
I'm not
don't
doing
share it on
bullshit.
that level, like that's still what I want to do regardless. Even
Yeah.
if it's just like someone coming to my house that, you
Yeah.
know, yeah.
So are you really passionate about teaching or like
I didn't
setting
think,
up a space?
I didn't think I was, but I actually am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to think that it was like, I wasn't, I don't know. I just felt like I didn't have, I don't know. It's just, it's hard. I don't know if I was capable really.
Yeah.
Even if I was maybe capable to paint and the people wanted to learn what I had, to share, but I don't know. I just didn't, I don't know. And now that I'm getting more comfortable with it, I feel that it sharpens my skills because I have to really analyze what I'm doing to
Right.
make this happen rather than just like in this like mode of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And that's like actually helpful because then I can retrace my steps a little easier, I guess.
Yeah. You're kind of like articulating what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it makes it more a solid process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now it's like I've taught a lot of people, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, we were saying that that's how
I met you.
Eventually like became friends was through that class. Is that what you're most passionate about right now in terms of art? Or?
No, just making pictures. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm passionate about getting my art into like new places and like getting my art, having new eyes on my art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Like new like circles.
Yeah. I just.
But mostly above all of that is just making pictures.
Yeah. I mean that's what it's all about. Right?
Yeah.
Like literally, that's what it is all about. Yeah. What about you? What are you most passionate about right now?
I think she's just figuring out her style a lot.
Yeah, I'm just figuring it all out right now.
Yeah.
The one before she was working on right now is like this quite a bit of struggle with even just the beginning of it. And she like left it and bailed and went right into this one and was like so far along, so much
quicker.
Yeah. And it was way better. So I was like, okay, well, you like doing what you're doing here, so keep doing that, I guess, you know.
Yeah learning's really just really great.
It is. And Jack is such a great teacher, and he's had tons of students, and the way that Jack teaches is pretty special because it's the student comes here and they paint with us every day. So it really becomes like it's like total submersion if you're the student.
Yeah. It's not just like a 1 hour online class or something like that.
I don't even think I could do it that way.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Someone asked me recently if I would be down to teach online or something, and I first said no. But I think I could do like a one-on-one thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, if it's something that it's just like something about the interface of the screen and like the lag, like I think I just would drive me crazy.
Yeah. I'd want to do it in person.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
I think that's where I mean, the rubber meets the road for sure, you know? Yeah. So, but I just don't know what I would teach anyone, you know?
I mean, how you go out of painting.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And what steps you take to come to that final product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. um, I just had something in my head that I was going to ask you, and I forgot.
That's okay.
But we were talking about teaching, and shit. I'll just look at this. Oh yeah. So, did we talk about purpose already? Like, do you guys have purpose behind your art?
Yeah. I mean, I like to think it is. Maybe it isn't to other people, but yeah.
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 What is it?
Or
can you put it into words even?
I can try. I mean, I guess part of it is like I'm like an archaeologist of like these like things that I want to bring light to or like heal in myself. And like this is like the most direct way of addressing it for me is like to paint it, even if it's just a symbol of it or like a really cryptic symbol of it. So it's like making pictures that like that help heal me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Is it the same for you?
That's the goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because art is such a internal thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's also so like outwardly expressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You were talking about symbols earlier, and I'm looking at this big book right here. What is this book? I want to.
Manly P.
The Secret Teachings of All Ages.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. And so, do you draw a lot from like alchemy, things like that, or like
yeah,
magic?
But not in a way that would be like identifiable necessarily anymore. Some like I don't know.
Are you using your own? Are you like creating your own symbols sometimes?
I always am.
Yeah, yeah.
That everything in a painting is.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's just like
just
I said, it could be really cryptic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. It can be really cryptic.
Can you give us an example?
Thank you.
Like I think maybe you may have noticed that I paint a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
So I paint the bugs because I had a high school girlfriend. It was the first love, and her dad collected bugs, and he would go like travel around the world to collect all these crazy exotic bugs.
Nice.
And she took her life once we were like a little older. Damn. And that's just like a homage to like her family and her.
Right on. That's deep. That's cool. Like, yeah, you can have like idiosyncratic symbols that are
most people just think it's a bunch of shit on a fucking in a pile or
yeah,
and like you can be that too if you want it,
right?
But it's also like it's all these other things too, if you want it.
So it means like everything to you, and it could possibly mean a lot to other people too
if they want it to, and if they don't, I don't care. If they think it looks cool, that's cool, but
yeah. Sweet. What about you? Are you using symbolism? Are you doing the same kind of thing?
I'm trying. I'm like working on it. The ideas
I think she definitely
there.
has used a bunch of them. I think like it also. Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I think one of the ones that she did that was like super had a lot of that like archaeology in it. Like it brought up a lot of stuff, and for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, like it was heavy. So I think that like in certain ways you have to like take those big steps, those kinds of ones, like in increments, or else you're just like on this like roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I hadn't felt that before.
No. From painting?
Because the symbols were facing a lot of things that she was facing at the time. And then like it just like, you know, there was a while where she was like feeling it. And I said,
totally.
You know, I know that this may sound crazy, but like, don't discount the fact of, don't discount what you're like trying to like bring up with these pictures.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even things that you bring up that you may not have meant to bring up, but are just there.
Yeah.
I've experienced that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're painting and you're like, what does this mean? And then you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying earlier about it just revealing itself to you.
Yeah. And that I often come up with titles that way too.
Oh yeah, every title almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's like multiple titles for a painting.
Yeah.
I'll write them down. It'll be like a sheet long or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's a ringing endorsement for just like how beneficial art can be, like psychologically, and therefore like emotionally.
I think both of us wouldn't be here without it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I certainly wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I'd be doing, or if I'd even be alive.
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, one last question. I kind of want to ask you this question. What advice would you give to someone who is maybe thinking about taking a leap into painting or whatever medium that they're interested in? Like maybe giving yourself your younger self advice from like 3 years ago or something like that. I know that's kind of a...
Be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm always crying.
That's good. That's good.
Yes, be patient with yourself. Because it can get really hard.
Yeah.
I'm crying about painting. Oh man, it can get really hard, and it brings up, like we were just talking about, brings up all this crap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just be patient and enjoy the process.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You got anything, Jack?
No.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Let me get that out.
Bust it out, dude.
Okay. Oh, here it is right here. So I got to give a shout out to Visionary Magnets.
Visionary Magnets. Yo.
Visionary Magnets. Big shouts. Big shouts to the North Carolina fam. Thank you. All right. So we're going to do Visionary Haiku with you guys. Cool. And I think it would be cool if like, if you guys came up with one together. Okay. And I'll maybe make my own.
Oh, really?
Okay.
As well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Here is a little magnet board. Sorry,
I was wondering.
Okay? Yeah.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah. So like. Yeah. Sorry, we've got this little magnet board here, and it used to be for Mark to write down notes for me, but you know.
Switching it up.
Yeah. All right. So this is kind of like the fun part of, you know, we can just make up funny little, or not funny, or like really serious.
Serious. I like serious.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get some more words out here. Jack, you want to?
Come on, get in.
Get in here.
575.
Yep. 575. Put some more out here.
What'd you come up with?
Portal enlightenment. What?
That's like 7. So that can be the middle one.
That is the middle.
Okay, nice. Or maybe I can do the last one then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's just do it like that.
Okay.
I like
I'm gonna
that.
put avocado sage.
Avocado sage. Nice. Okay. Avocado sage. Portal enlightenment. What? Okay.
Like it's a flex. Like
what? Portal enlightenment. What? Let's see. Oh.
Sage knows we're talking about.
Let's see. I got it. Matrix. Wait.
oh wow.
Yes.
Wow. Dude,
That's pretty special.
Fire,
Dude.
Oh man.
A Matrix enema. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna need pictures. Yeah, I'll take a picture. Yeah. All right. Well, so yeah, let's wrap first. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Say bye, guys.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Peace.